Hi, it's Kian. As artists, we sometimes stumble upon struggles when making art. These things can really hold us back. So, for another installment of my Ookie Spooky series, I decided to turn these artist struggles into monster designs. So, I'm in my lavender town era now. Anyways, enough with the yapperoni, let's get into it. The first artist struggle I am tackling is art block. Art block is a term that is used to describe creative block for people who work with artistic mediums like drawing, painting, or sculpting. There are many, types of art block. It doesn't happen to everyone in the same way. Like some artists do want to create art, but for one reason or another, they just can't. And others just don't have any desire at all to create art. There are numerous factors that can cause art block for an artist. Examples like burnout, lack of motivation or inspiration. And one that I personally often struggle with is my work not turning out the way I envision it in my head. Sometimes you have a vision that is just greater than your skills. And when your work doesn't turn out the way you wanted it to, you might lose motivation and experience self-doubt. And when you are in that kind of state, you are prone to get art block. And I also wanted to acknowledge that there are people who are dealing with mental health issues, and that can affect their whole lives, and obviously that includes their art as well. Basically, art block is just something that prevents you from making art. There is a lot of definition for it, but this is how I understand it. But feel free to share your own experience with art block. Now, for the design, I first of all took the block part of the name literally and gave the monster a blocky shape. We could see it as a literal block, like a barrier for us to make art. And I colored him in a total blank darkness to represent the state of mind when an artist is lacking creative vision or inspiration. Like just total blank in their mind. The open mouth and teeth are for like sucking the motivation out of an artist. And finally, I put his hand in an inviting pose to symbolize that a lot of art block cases, the artists genuinely want to create art, like they actually want to, but they just can't. A popular way to overcome art block that I've seen a lot of artists suggest is just to take a break. It's a good solution. Sometimes your mind is just tired and it wants to relax. You can seek inspiration while you're on a break. Consume shows or media that inspire you, or even other artists. But this can go the other way as well. Like you might end up feeling even worse about your work when you look at others. I know that's what I feel. So what I personally do is draw simple things. For me, it's the Smurfs. Like I said, sometimes your vision is greater than your skills. So when you are experiencing art block, try doing what you are most comfortable with. Just make something. Just finish making something. You can trick your brain to think, wow, I can actually make something. And little by little, you'll get more and more motivation and get out of the block. At least that's what works for me. But if you have your own way of getting over art block, feel free to share in the comments. Let's help each other. And let me know what you think about my monster interpretation of art block. Next up, I'm tackling asymmetry. Now, asymmetry is both a struggle and a technique when it comes to art. Like it can be used to create interesting composition in like paintings, and even in character designs, it can be used to make cool design choices. Not to toot my own horn, but I personally used it in my Sona design. But asymmetry can also come as a problem, especially when drawing characters. You know that popular drawing the other eye meme? I think most, if not all, artists struggle with asymmetry at one point. I personally still do, especially with front profile, which is why I don't draw characters in front profile that much. I understand that a lot of artists value symmetry with their art or art styles, but just keep in mind that even in real life, nobody is perfectly symmetrical. I mean, the universe does have its favorites, but try not to worry about it too much, you know? A bit of asymmetry can actually make your drawings look more natural. But again, if it's something that's important to you, keep doing what you do. You do you, my sugar cubes. For the monster, I decided to draw a half and half thing. When I thought of symmetry, this is the first idea that came to my mind. And like the art block monster, I honestly just went in for this one without much thought. Like I knew I wanted to draw an exaggerated monstrosity that's asymmetrical. I'm quite happy with how this turned out. I think I did a stellar job with the seamless blend between the two. But of course, let me know what you all think in the comments. What I love to do after finishing this drawing was covering one side at a time to see how it looks. I'll show you in the end if you're interested as well. Anyways, with asymmetry, there are multiple ways to overcome it. Flipping the canvas is a Luffy Savier's lifesaver for this. I abuse it a bit too much though, like I flip my canvas after every stroke, which is also bad, like don't do that. If you're working traditionally, you can hold your paper against a light source and see the back of it. If there's another drawing in the back, then rip. Of course, there's also the mirror tool. I'm not really a fan of this tool, at least when drawing a character. I don't want to be mean, but using it can make your drawing look unnatural, so I never really use this tool. If you do, again, go off, diva. But for graphic design though, I'm the #1 stan. I'm the Swiftologist of the mirror tool when it comes to graphic design. Also, drawing guidelines can be useful, but you have to know how to use it. I saw a video where an artist say that guidelines can harm you. Not physically, but you know. I partially agree. Like, it can harm you if you don't know how to use it, but I think if you're struggling with asymmetry, it can help you a ton. Anyways, this is my monster interpretation of asymmetry. And this is the covering one side thing I mentioned. Let me know what you all think in the comments. Now, this final one is quite controversial. It's the same face syndrome. I'm sure you have heard of it if you are on the art side of YouTube and internet. If you haven't, it's actually pretty self-explanatory. It's when every character that is drawn by the same artist have the same face type. I'm not gonna get into any of the debates on this. There are countless videos about it on YouTube, but I'm gonna speak for myself and my art. I try not to fall into this syndrome, but I might have it. I genuinely don't know. At the very least, I think I don't push myself enough with stylization and exaggeration of the face. I definitely need to practice more and do more studies, but most of the time I do try to vary the faces that I draw. Anyways, for the monster, I decided to go with a concept instead. Like, it's not a physical monster, more like a horror concept. Like, imagine you wake up one day, you get out of the house, which is already unrealistic, but let's go on. You go to a place and all the people there are looking at you, like they're staring at you. And when you look closer, they all have the same face and they're smiling menacingly. I think this concept is terrifying. Like, imagine if that happens in real life. What would you do or even think? I hope you all noticed and appreciate that I put the face on the shirt as well. It's supposed to be a parody of Avril Lavigne. I call her Melissa to reference the conspiracy theory that Avril Lavigne died in 2003 and was replaced by a body double named Melissa. I ate that up when I was younger. When my mom saw me drawing this, she thought that I was drawing a happy family. They are smiling, so I guess happy is correct. But family? It's supposed to be people at like the subway, but I don't think it's clear in this drawing. Anyways, same face syndrome. What else can be said about it that hasn't been? I think if you are making art for fun, who cares, right? Like, it's your art, you can do whatever you want. But of course, if you post your art online, people are free to talk about it because that's all they do, talk. But I think we all should agree that attacking someone, especially a minor and a beginner artist, is just stupid. Like, don't do that. What the hell? I even think that unwarranted opinion or criticism is lame, but free speech or whatever. Just don't be an asshole. Asshole stinks. Be a flower. I don't know. But one thing that I think is funny is when someone criticizes artists with same face syndrome using the argument that if you take off the outfits and hair of your characters, they all look the same. But like, when are you ever gonna draw your characters bald and naked? I don't want to sound like I'm defending same face syndrome. I mean, my favorite show is The Smurfs, for fuck's sake. All of those little shits look the same. Anyways, this is the concept of same face syndrome in real life. Let me know what you think in the comments. So here are two monsters and one concept based on artist struggles. Let me know what you think of them and if you enjoy this type of content. I am trying new things, so thank you all for sticking around. And if you have been watching up until this point, thank you and I'll see you next time.